I've lost motivation on this truck. Let me tell you, this is the longest project that I've ever worked on. I'm over it. I'm going to take you guys along because we're going to be installing the master cylinder today. We have to wire it up, convert it from the Honda Civic or Honda Accord that it was in to now work with the Toyota. I believe we have to turn it into a 4-wire system, not a 3-wire, but we'll get there when we get there. In order to do some hoochie hoops in here, we need to figure out what we have for space. That means that's got to go in. So it is time to do the master cylinder. There's some things to do first though. We have to wire it. So here's what we got. There's a bunch of wiring diagrams on what pins do what. Then it breaks down the number. This is on wiring the Tesla iBoost. And it's by evcreate.com. Credit to them. So I'm going to walk you through how I'm interpreting this. Mine is a Gen 2 Tesla iBoost. This is out of a 18 Honda Accord. There's a Honda logo right there. The reason I went with this one is because it's got the remote reservoir. So the other one, the Gen 1, comes out and then it comes way out to here with the brake, where this guy's a remote. So I'll be able to tuck him in somewhere nice and it won't be in the way. So let's start playing with this. So guys, don't get it confused. I'm in no way, shape, or form an expert on this. This is a whole new system to me. We're just going to read the wire diagram and some instructions I'm finding online and hope that they're right. So first step, I'm going to pop this plug off. Ta-da! And then I'm going to try and figure out how to pop this out so I can get to these wires. So all 4 of these wires here are going to be utilized, and it tells you what number they go with on the pins. The way that they do this, guys, and you can verify it yourself, there's a 26 over there, 17, there's a 1, and there's a 9. So if you look at the picture, they're showing me the back side of the connector like this is this view right there. So I just verified that. Now for the other one, there's wire 1, there's wire 4. So that's how they're doing that. So that makes it easy for us. So we know there's our powers and grounds. We know that number 1 goes to number 8. Where's number 8? Number 8 is going to be this brown wire here. Now, somebody on one of the ads or one of the videos I watched, guys, said that these color codings don't correlate with each other all the time. We're going to use this stuff. So let's get this stripped. Alright, this is 18 gauge, so we're close. I'm going to solder all these wires together because it's just how I am. There's one. Now, it's going to come out here, come up and around. So let's walk you through the laboratory here. Basically, these ended up being color for color. Now, I haven't soldered these yet in case I made a boo-boo. I don't want them in. But this top left, blue went to blue on there, which is number 2. The upper right went to brown, which is number 4 on the little connector. Pink went with pink, which is number 1, and that's this one here, which I believe was pin 22. Pin 23, yellow, goes to pin 3, yellow here. Purple is showing up as an ignition wire, so I wired that long. And then you have your ground and your positive here. So I'm going to put the connector back together, pop this onto there, and then see what all we have, make sure it's working. I'm not going to, tighten anything up yet. I'm just going to set it in there. So there's that. There's that. Now we'll see how much smoke comes out of it when we connect this to the battery. Hopefully not. We got the old Noco for this. We're gonna do that there. Turn that on. And we need to be able to push on this. So let's touch this and see what happens. Nothing. Okay. That's good, because we have our ignition on. Now it should make some clicking noises. Houston, we have nothing. Oop, there it goes. Okay, so it's self-tested. Nope, we're not right. Something's wrong. 12 volts. Fuck, dude. Might not have been in all the way. There it goes. Oh. Oh, it's down again. I think we're there, guys. Okay, that's not a real battery, so I need to take this with a grain of salt, but I just witnessed it work. So I'm going to solder these wires in, and then I'll put the connector back on because it keeps slipping off here too. And then we'll put it on a real battery and watch what happens. First try! Yay! Okay, so we also need to clean this mess up. So let's start here with these. So I'm going to cut these at different lengths, which kind of already are. That one there needs to be trimmed up a bit. Okay, so put those back together, nice and neat. So right there, guys, what I did is I heated this up, the glue came out the end, and I crimped it. And that's going to make that a watertight connection there. So then we're going to take all these guys and we're going to put them in a line coming out. Nice and neat. And then I'm going to use a little bit of Tessa tape right there. That in there good so we don't get any rubbage. Alright, so that's their connector. Everybody's loose and comfortable. Put this guy back in. Dunsies. So that is our new connector. That's going to go in here. These wires are actually the proper length. That's exactly how I want it to be. So let's get these soldered in. Kind of hold those there for a minute. So there it is, guys. We have it all nice and wrapped into a nice little web here, and then we have our 3 wires coming out. We got our power, our ground, and then our ignition. All three of them different color wires, following standard black is ground, yellow as power, 12 volt protocol. So all of that's easy to follow. And yeah, we're just gonna bolt up the master cylinder right there and then try and start fitting this into the car. Let me get you caught up here. So I measured from the throw out point where the rod's gonna go through it in there to the face, and it's 4 1/4. I measured the booster and it's 4 5/8. So I'm going to do a 1/4 inch plate here. I tried drilling this hole and ran into the whole housing. So I switched gears and I'm going to make a plate by 4 inches by 5 inches that I can bolt to this. It'll have studs going through, and then I will have points where the booster can attach to. I just have to figure out how all that's going to work. So yeah, come along and let's figure it out together. What I've come up with is I'm going to do 2 plates of metal, and I'm going to do studs on either side of them. So it'll make sense in the end, but let me walk you through how we're doing this. The plan as of now, I'm going to square this piece of metal up. I'm going to make 2 identical pieces that are going to be wide enough to kind of fill this area right here. So the reason I need 2, I need about a 1/2 inch. These plates are a 1/4 inch thick. That gives me enough to do what I need to do with studs and some fun stuff. So I'm going to get that all measured out. I'm going to plot it out onto here. And we're going to use this guy right here. This one's mine. So if you guys remember right, Andrew lent me his and pretty much doomed me to get one. So I did some stuff for a friend, and he showed up with that as a thank you. I'd say that's a hell of a thank you. So Larry, thank you. So yeah, back to this. Let's get some measurements. Let's get it laid out on here, and we'll go from there. So let's talk about this for a minute, guys. Here's our plate. 2 plates. So I'm going to drill 5/16 hole through these. I'm going to hit both plates. On this second plate, I'm going to drill a much larger hole to accommodate a nut hiding flush with it. Show you why in a little bit. Okay guys, so here's the plate on the booster. I missed it a tiny bit, so I did oblong these holes out. Full disclosure, see the little gap there. These ones here were missed, but not by much. So what we're going to do now, this plate here is actually going to go on the back side here. And I need this nut to be able to bolt this plate here. So we need to clearance this plate for das nut. So I need to drill a hole big enough to clear that nut. So this isn't the prettiest thing you've ever seen in your life, but right now I'm just trying to get proof of concept. Once I know that it'll work, then I'll go through. I'm going to TIG weld, get a little more strength in these, because what I ended up doing, I offset everything. So I started drilling, and you can see I drilled right into the center of the hole, which is not what I wanted to do. There's no way I can put a stud in that. So I offset things, so everything's going to be a tiny bit crooked, but that allowed me to get where I needed to get. So I cut these back about an 1/8 inch into this plate, and then plug welded that. And I think that'll be pretty strong, but I want just a little more, so I'm going to do a little bit of TIG welding right here around all these just to give it a little more strength. Okay, there's that. Now I need to cut all these studs flush. I should have cut all those before I put these studs in, but I didn't think this plate was going to work. I thought I was wasting time, so I kind of threw these in there just to see what all would happen, but now I know. That'll work, donkey. Okay, let's go cut these. All of our nuts are in. They're flush. There is a little gap. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little proud. However, these gaskets will pick all that up. have problems. So I got one brake line holding me up here. Oh, that's gonna be perfect, guys. Look at how well that works. Dude. Look at how well this whole thing is packaged right now. So right here, sorry it's sideways, is the original hook where the evap hose, or sorry, the vacuum hose would go in here that went to the booster originally. And now that is going to work perfectly for what I need. All I got is a little bit of stuff to move down here. Looks like we have a brake line or a clutch master line. We got some evap stuff down there. I think one of those is my fuel line. Yeah, one's the fuel line. So I got to rebend a couple of things, but that's going to be compact. This will live up here. That's going to be beautiful. So that is, God, that's sexy. It's sexy and it knows it. Guys, I think it's important for me to be totally honest with everybody this whole step of the way. I'm going to show you the good things, I'm going to show you the bad things, and I'm going to show you how I overcome them or don't overcome them and just move on from what's happening. This is no exception. So I had to take a step back on this project. I had some other things come up. We did injectors on the truck. We did a head job due to some failed lifters. We've done some stuff on the forklift. I've been waiting for parts on that forever. I did a trip to Oklahoma, taking a trailer out there for a friend, and now we're back. So about 5 weeks since I've touched this truck. That being said, I've lost motivation on this truck. Let me tell you, this is the longest project that I've ever worked on. I redid my backyard at the last house. It took me like 5 months to do. But I knew what I was doing, and I made a lot of progress on it, and I felt good about that. The Tacoma. This is a purchase that I made 4 to 5 years ago. And the whole purpose of this truck, I always wanted a Tacoma. When I was younger, I ended up with an S10. I couldn't afford the Tacoma. So I saw high and low. I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted the 04 Tacoma because it was the last year of the first gen. They had the coolest interior. The door panels had tweeters, whatever. This is the truck I wanted. Now this truck, when I would go off-roading, that's my happy place. So I take on a lot of stuff that you guys don't see. My job, although it's not super stressful, there's days that can definitely be stressful, and there's things that can drive me nuts. And when I get in the Tacoma and the wife and I go out with Steve and whoever else we're out with and we're wheeling, having a good time, like that's how I decompress. And with the Tacoma being down for 7-8 months now, yes, I've made progress on it, but this is all a huge learning experience. I'm learning from this stuff, and I've had Brody to consult with, and Brody's going to be on the channel, guys. I already talked to him about it. He's cool with it. In fact, if you watch Matt's Off-Road Recovery, last time we just went out, I filmed a little bit while we were out there, but a vehicle went off the side of the road over at Valley of the Moon, and Matt's Off-Road Recovery actually went out and got it, and they called in a local to help them out, which was Brody and another guy that I'm not familiar with. I think his name was Mike on the video. But it was just kind of funny. I saw that and I was like, holy crap, there's Brody. But Brody's a super cool dude. I am so thankful for him being able to guide me through this. More on that in a minute though. So this Tacoma is my way of decompressing, and I haven't had that. So I got a lot of other projects that I want to get to, that I want to do, and I want to get back out. I mean, it's snowing out, guys, in the mountains. I haven't been snow wheeling since, for those of you that don't know, I used to live in New Hampshire, and we used to go out every snowstorm and just rip up the road. I mean, drive But of course the roads are slippery, so sometimes the trucks slide around a little bit. Never did anything reckless. Definitely never went out and just tore up parking lots or did donuts like some weird people. But there were times where I would be in a group of, you know, four friends or so, and we would drive single file line down the road and nice straight lines. So I miss going out in the snow, and I miss wheeling. And there are Mount Lagunas up the road. We can go up to Big Bear and hit some real good stuff, or even up in Mammoth or Tahoe. Like, I want to put this sucker through its paces. I've got, you know, full disclosure, 25 grand tied up in this thing just in modifications right now. I want to see what it does. And I'm hitting a threshold where I'm over it. I want to wheel it. So I reached out to Brody, and I told him, dude, white flag, I want help. So I'm going to be hiring Brody to come out. He's basically going to tell me what he wants me to do, and we're going to hammer this thing. I don't know if it's going to be 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. I don't know what it's going to take, but we're going to finish this truck. Not doing it is not an option. Now, I got the Iboost all wired up, and I got it working, and we made a plate. As you can see here, the plate looks like crap. Even for proof of concept, yes, the brake fits in there, everything's great, but that is not my caliber of work. Although some things, I know you guys that are out there that are fabricators and professionals, you might be able to do a lot better than I'm doing. I'm not a professional, guys. Yeah, I dabble in a lot of different things, and I try very hard to make things good. There's some things on this truck that aren't quite aesthetically pleasing, but I'm doing what I can. And I don't like that bracket at all. So I'm going to redo that bracket. Cue this. We have a 3 foot long piece of 5/8 thick aluminum. I don't know what kind of aluminum this is. It was in the drop pile at the metal supply place. Ooh, and it is cold. So I'm going to redo that bracket. Now, on the last video that I released with the Tacoma Part 10, I talked about how I would like to maybe mass produce this. So I am going to spend the weekend making a prototype that I'm pleased with. That's all I'm going to focus on this weekend, just a little baby project to a big project. And then I'm going to take this thing over to a CNC shop, and then I'm going to perfect it even more. And I'm going to carve my little logo in there, something I can be proud of, a little penguin thing there. And I'm going to produce this. And then I got a guy at work, Abraham. What's up, buddy? I'm going to take his truck, and we're going to throw an Iboost in that. After this truck. This truck's done first, get it out of my life, hammer a couple projects, and then we're going to do that. And I want to make it so that we can slip an Iboost in lots of different Tacomas just as easy as possible. So it'll come with the Iboost if you choose, or you can get your own, I don't care. The bracket, the studs, the nuts, it's going to make it so you can slip it right in. It's going to have the 12 millimeter to 10 millimeter brake line adapters in it so that they'll work with it. And then I want to make basically a kit that you just hook up the power wires, bolt it into the firewall, and you got yourself an Iboost. I have no idea if it'll work with ABS or not. I don't know if it'll overpower the ABS. I don't know any of that stuff. It's just going to come with playing with it. Now, on my truck, I'm going to be eliminating the ABS unit altogether. That's coming out of the truck. That being said, we need to move forward with the rest of the truck. So as soon as I perfect that plate, I'm going to want to get some of those out. This truck is holding me up from all of that stuff. So I'll probably finish the truck and then I'll start messing around with those plates afterwards, producing them, so on and so forth. I am going to be really leaning on Brody on this truck. Now, he was just here. We went over a bunch of stuff. He's like, dude, you're so close, it's not even funny. We're going to put aside 2, 3, maybe 4 days, and the two of us just hammer away on it. He gave me homework of making sure that the Iboost is completely put into place, and then the steering shaft is going down to the gearbox, and that's all I need to worry about right now. We did find a little issue with the way that I had the Iboost, where the steering shaft may or may not clear it, so I have to figure that all out. And I'm sorry guys, but I'm going to show you how I'm making the template for the Iboost, but I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty, drill this hole here, drill this hole here. Obviously that's kind of counterproductive if I want to try and sell you guys something. But I'll show you how my brain works as far as trying to prototype this thing and move forward. I'm also not going to get a patent on it. I understand that somebody's going to get one of these, copy it, yada yada. If they want to be an asshole, let them be an asshole. Whatever, dude. It's just kind of fun for me to get a couple things out there and be like, hey, yeah, that's mine. So he's going to come over and we're going to hit this thing hard and get it moving. Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. So bottom line, guys, I just kind of wanted to get on here and tell you, you know, I'm overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. This truck's taking a lot longer than I thought. I thought with my dedication on this thing, I'm like, oh yeah, 3 months more than enough. I got 12 weeks. That's 12 weekends and all the weeknights. We'll get this thing hammered. No, that's not the reality of life, guys. Other things come up. You got to deal with other things. That's the reality of life. So with his help, and I'll get him on camera, you know, I'll let him talk about what he does. You guys need a dude in the area. I mean, the guy's phenomenal and just a real stand-up dude. So basically, guys, I mean, these feelings and stuff, these happen with projects. So if you're overwhelmed with the project, just know that there's people you can turn to. You know, you can ask questions to people. It's okay to have to learn things and figure things out. That's how you know, that's how you become better. Don't ever be afraid to tackle a project. Do your research, learn a little bit. YouTube, I mean, get your YouTube certifications. Watch a whole bunch of different people how they do it. You'll see that certain things keep coming up. And, you know, just tackle a project one at a time. And if you get overwhelmed, you can call people. It's going to cost a little more money. I'm going to have to pay somebody to come in. It is what it is. You know, I didn't take on this project to, you know, try and do this on a budget. If I wanted a budget, it would be on leaf springs. It'd be on, you know, an older Toyota axle. The rear axle would still be a Toyota, and then I'd wheel it like that. It's not what I wanted. I wanted an over the top. I wanted something as good as I could with still keeping a factory design. Yeah, that's kind of bringing you guys up to date. Transparency is everything. You know, I got a comment the other day on one of the videos and said that my knowledge is impressive. Well, I just want you guys to know, like, yeah, I know a little bit about a lot of different things, but some of this stuff I'm just learning. So if you're taking my videos as gospel, then, I mean, you know, I don't want to disappoint you guys. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm kind of figuring out as we go. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching and coming along with the journey. And I think right now we're up to 365 subscribers as of this morning. I got a couple people that I see, you know, commenting on multiple videos, and you guys, I really appreciate it. I got a couple ideas of how to thank people that have been with me, you know, early on and, you know, are active in the videos. And anybody that is around the San Diego area, anybody that is around in Utah, you know, anybody that's got a cool area where they go wheeling and
I have no problem coming out and wheeling with you guys. You know, it'd be cool to just kind of, you know, I'm not into being other people, but I think Light Bright, part of what they do of just going out and just being free with stuff, I think that's really cool. I'd love to come out wheeling with you guys. You know, once this is done, again, you're in the San Diego area or whatever, let's get together and do some wheeling. Let's try and break this thing and just go out and have a good time. So yeah, that brought you up to date. Really appreciate you guys. That being said, let's get back to the video and let's make a bracket, something we can be proud of. So we got this piece all marked out. We're now going to be cutting it with our can't live without Milwaukee saw. Just barely misses the clamp. That's perfect. So let's get that going there. It's going right into my welding helmet. Perfect. Dead batteries. I love dead batteries. I know this bracket is going to be transferred. So here's a spacer that was between the booster and the firewall previously. So that's going to give me a real good spot to start here. But first, let's go figure this other side out. I'm going to show you guys what we're up against over here as far as the brake booster goes. You've seen it installed a few times now, so let's see what we can do. If I can get this down in there. I don't know if you can see it. Let's put a little light on it. Right there. It comes through the wall. I honestly think that the steering shaft is going to work exactly where it is. So out it comes one more time. We'll get the steering shaft in there, link it up down here, and then see what it all looks like. Okay guys, so if we remember, this is the steering shaft that is sold from Trail Gear. Now these are kind of bulky universals. They look like they're okay quality. We have to be careful in here. So this can go too far and then you can't pivot it. So we got to kind of come out like that. And I will drill a hole through the center here. That way the threaded insert can go in, bite into this metal, just like this side. So now that lines up within here and goes right through. So let's get this installed into the vehicle. It's really going to be hard to show you guys inside there. So I'm just going to do some of this and then, I mean, this should be easy. Famous last words. Should be easy to get in and get mocked up. So I'll come back when we get some progress on this. So here's what we got. Because of how far I have the gearbox forward, this goes in, it's only maybe right about where the tip of my finger is, so just past this thread. I'm going to weld this one. This one's going to be welded in solid, and then inside the vehicle, it's going to be, I drilled a hole and this thing goes right through it, so that's locked in up top. But because of where that goes through and the size of that hole, I can't really afford to weld the inside and then push it through. It just wouldn't work. So here's where we got. I did cut out all these brake lines because See them right there. Because I'm going to start over. I'm not using the ABS. However, when I mocked up this, they were all in there. So I just needed them out of my way for this steering rod. If you are just putting in an iBoost and you're not doing all this solid swap stuff, then it will still work with the brake lines because that's how it was mocked up. This steering shaft will not affect it. So it should be able to right into place now. Oh, I like that. Yep, that's gonna work just peachy. And I can clock it just a little more like I want to. Oh, it's beautiful. Guys, I'm excited about that. It actually works. All right. On with the borophyll. So we're gonna put this plate over top of this. And that way it clamps it to it nice and firm so it doesn't move while I'm marking these holes. There we go. So just like before, guys, these are self-centering punches. They got a little nipple in the front. That way it's going to slip in the hole. And I mean, it'll move up and down here because there's a little clearance, but that's center of where all these need to be. So now I need to drill those. Let's see what size studs I need and see if I have any. I found 4 exhaust studs. These are actually going to work. So with the length of these studs, I have all of that on these. So all I need to do is drill these to the size, tap those. Bob's your uncle. So for anybody that doesn't know how to find thread pitch, typically you will see in most taps they have thread guides. So we're just going to match that up to the thread on here. Found it right away. So it's going to be a 125. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. But a 125 thread. And now we're going to use the tap to figure out what it is. So I believe it's an 8 by 125. Now we're going to look at our tap guide here. And 75%. So what it is 60% grab, 75%, whatever is going to fit tighter. So we have 8 by 125. So it wants a 7mm drill bit. I do not have millimeter drill bits. I haven't bought the drill index yet. It's in my Amazon cart. And this is the 3rd time that I've needed it. So that'll be here tomorrow. Ain't nobody got time for that. We're going to see what we can do today. We figured out that we need a 17/64 drill bit to hack it. I mean, we need a 7mm. And then we need this tap here, which is an 8mm. And then we put it all together. Owie! I'm gonna get a bruise now. Any Adam Sandler fans? Anybody get the reference? Badas. Drills it like Tabatas. Okay. So now, guys, we have a bunch of blind holes. Ooh. So now we're going to tap them. Maybe I'm not going to use... Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it, see what kind of mess it makes. The proper way to tap something is to go in a little bit, back it up. So you're going to go in, you're going to reverse it, clean the threads, and then you keep going. Aluminum, kind of a different beast. It doesn't really matter. And in this particular application, it doesn't really make a difference. And see guys, these a little too loose. Like we need to do better there. Proof of concept. Perfect. So that's that. That's nice. So let's put this on there. And we'll drill our center hole there. Okay, so now we find the center of that. I'm going to try something new that I saw, guys. Basically, you drill a hole in the side of the lines. This might not be new to some of you guys, but to me, this is new. And it's supposed to clear out the chips as you're drilling. So we drilled a hole in the side there. Got our trusty hole dozer here. Hole dozer. That's loud. Everything that I said do not use lube. So here's some lube just in case. There it is. We true. It's a nice cat right there. Alright guys, so here's our hole. Came out pretty damn good. Nice and smooth. Not bad. We'll take off those edges there. Let's try it out. I'm good with that. That is friggin' perfect. So now we gotta reclock the chingus there and go from there. Alright, so we have this squared up as how it was in the truck. I want to give it just a teensy beansy little bit more. So we're gonna give that a little touch, and then that will tell me when that is level on here. That's going to tell me exactly where it needs to be, because right now, you know, that bracket's cattywampus, as you can see, and I'm not cool with that. So that is, these lugs are perfectly level, which they need to be in the truck, and then this is how the booster is. So let's give that a little extra here. Guys, just like that. It's a new day, and nailed it on the first try. Let's check it out. So here it is. Oh, don't mind that. Oh. I don't know what those are. Yeah, so as I was saying, first try. Got the new bracket all done. I'm on the fence, guys, whether I want to produce these things or not, because that bolt being that close to there And this one here, it only basically has what I've left in there, which is about 1/4 of an inch at the bottom. So I don't know how much liability is behind these things. What I might do is I might sell them as mock-up devices. That way you guys can mock it up and make your own. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any experience with getting the shit suit out of you, let me know. So again, it was not the first try. I'm sure you guys knew that. Here is the second try. This one was much closer. The only problem is when this was bolted in there, I ran into an issue with the way that this was clocked. It would either be in like the perfect location down below if these holes were drilled on this side. So this is a mirror image. So see how the holes are kind of sunk here, not here? They're on this side. Well, that changed things. So this bracket gets it really close to the evap lines. You can see right here, and it was rubbing on them, where the other bracket basically puts it here. So I have quite a bit of extra room there. So I opted for that. And I just basically made it and reversed it. Put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. And yeah, the first attempt, yeah, we don't even want to get into that. That was just a shit show. But again, how close that bolt is, you know, all I got is the threads in the bottom. Now, I have not tapped this one. I ordered the drill bit set yesterday. It was supposed to be here today. Thank you, Bezos. It's not here. And it'll be here later. So I won't get that till tomorrow, but I used my chamfering bit wherever I could, make nice smooth holes so there's no chance of it tearing or rupturing. I even did all these holes. Look, oh yeah, I'm not getting cut on any of that. In here, nope, not cutting me. So yeah, that's it, guys. So what's going to happen is I got a annular cutting bit on order that'll be here tomorrow. I'm going to put that in there so that this surface is not tapered like the drill bit is, because all drill bits have that taper to them. Focus. Yeah, they all have a taper, so there's a taper in there. So I bought an annular cutter. I'm going to put it on the drill press, lock the drill press in place, and then kind of work it to flatten it out. And it's an aluminum one. I tried it with these sets. Oh, monster. Yeah, tried it with those, kept clogging up. So there it is, guys. That is the bracket I'm happy about. Once I get the new drill bit here, get that tapped in, get these flattened out, Loctite them, drop it into the truck. Brown Santa came today, and we have enough now to complete our brackets, install the chingus in there, and yeah. So check out what Brown Santa gave. Milwaukee Nibbler. I don't know how that got into my Amazon cart, but it just showed up. Here's our drill bit set. So we have all our decimals. We have our alphabet set, and then we have our normal bits over here. So we'll see how well these work. This set is only going to be used for taps. That's all I'm using this set for. So yeah, pretty exciting. So we'll be using that. And then we got an aluminum nibbler bit. Now, truthfully, when I bought this, I thought the end of it was flat, like a flat mill. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to find out shortly here. Let's get to work. Let's start making some stuff, and yeah, let's get going. Guys, my first steps are always the same in the shop. I come into the shop. These guys are not sponsors yet. Anyways, these are my Cutlass diamond gloves. I always wear these. They're level 4 protection. They got good grip on them. I mean, right now they're covered in oil and it's still got tons of grip. Now, they're covered in aluminum. like absolutely covered. I used the carbide burr tip. There was shards everywhere. I had shards sticking through my shirt and all that stuff. So none of that matters. But none of the metal goes through these gloves. So I'm going to rock these for one more day. And then I bought a whole bunch of new sets, guys. I'm going to have the link down below. You can buy these individually. I used to be able to buy a 12-pack on Amazon. They stopped carrying them. So I went through another website, but I'm going to link the individual pairs down below and maybe the new ones as well if I can find them. But these gloves have saved me from, you guys saw it, a plasma cutter. They've saved me from the infamous wire wheel brushes. They've saved me from the flap disc grinders. It literally blew the glove apart and didn't touch my hand. So definitely a lot of respect for these gloves. These and safety glasses are the first things I come on, wear as soon as I come into the garage. I even use them outside for yard work and stuff. I can mess around with stingy netto and not get stung with them. So yeah, definitely I don't really care what you do. You want your hands protected and they feel like there's nothing there. Okay guys, very important. Do not tell my wife. Nobody. It's a secret. The drill bit set that I just bought doesn't have metric bits in it. So I bought it for this and doesn't have them. So now we're back to using the drill bit that we used the other day on this. And that's just what it's going to be. Now let's put our fun new bit. Let's see if we can't throw this thing across the room. Perfect-ish. Good. Good enough. Good enough is what I meant to say. So, I don't know if that comes across in there, but I'm pretty close to flat. So, that's all I needed. Now, let's get the studs put into it. A little red Loctite. I'm going to red Loctite this to that, and then let's get it put into the truck. So guys, we're going to do some Loctite. You only need a little bit, so a lot's really good. So get all these lock pasted up. Hopefully I'm putting it on the right side. I think I am. Wouldn't be the first time I didn't do this right. Alright, we got Loctite all the way out the back side. Giggity. Yeah. So I just went over, tried it out on the truck. We got our top side up. Put a little bit of this on there.
definitely Loctite in this part. Then we have this guy. And we have our plate. This is exciting, guys. That's that, guys. So, in the future, if I sell these plates, if you guys do this, there's plenty of room with the way that I did this. So, I'm not going to worry so much about trying to cut these studs too short in the future. Do a little bit of housekeeping here. Ooh. Okay. Not bad for not being a machinist with a drill press. What else did I use on this? Cut off wheel. Mainly, and of course, I mean, the Milwaukee products. I think that's why it came out so good. If you have DeWalt at home, guys, don't even attempt this. Just do yourself a favor and go outside and get that beloved DeWalt. Bring it inside near the fire. Let it warm up a little bit. Start doing your projects. If those DeWalts aren't warm enough, you know what? Maybe even put it in the fire just to warm it up. Do that at your own precaution. I'm not going to be liable for you burning your house down. But yeah, that's about where the DeWalts belong. And moving on. Yeah, I'm a Milwaukee fanboy. All right, so that's that. That's ready to get bolted into the truck. I need to adjust this rod, and then we'll put the master back on it. Drop this into the truck and do this whole thing. I added a nut to this. I took the rubber boot off so I could see what was happening in here. I realized that this collar in here does not adjust anything. I thought I'd be able to get a little more out of it. Now this here unscrews, but if you look, I'm only that much. Just a quarter of a thread in, and I'm locked. So what I came up with is took another nut there. If I take the other nut and I weld them together, I'll have threads in there, and then that'll be good. So I'm going to take this over and I'm going to TIG weld this together. Put some Loctite behind it once it cools down. I took this into the truck, and this lines up perfectly with the brake pedal now. So one nut is all you need to extend this shaft out. So let's go pretend I know how to TIG weld. Alright guys, so there's that. We have a blow through right there. I think that's all the air inside just compressed, but I checked everything and I'm very happy with the penetration that we got on that. Now we toss her back on this. I'm going to have to do two hands here because where the first nut meets the second nut, yeah, it's going to bind there. So I'm going to hold on to that, tighten it up. There it is, guys. That's how she's gonna sit in the car too. Ooh.
Pretty happy with that. Ah, damn it. Valuable lesson, guys. If you ever want anything done right, you got to do it a few times. Although that is freeing up nice. That spins nice on there now. Again, guys, my favorite pick. Comes in clutch for everything. Let's get it in the car. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you guys this. I'm going to put it in the car and I'll get it set in there and then I'll show you what I did, because getting under there, me, you, I like you guys, but I don't like you that much. So, yeah, let's get that handled. One other thing, guys, if I don't show you it didn't happen, putting this on there. You're here. Yay! Family's here. Wait, I'm not showering. If you tilt your head and squint real hard, you can see right there, I have the factory Toyota pin through it. This is all lined up. All 4 of the bolts all the way around are in. And check this out. We have brakes. Well, I mean, we obviously don't have brakes, but we have a master cylinder. I'll lock it a lot, and then I'll make a bracket coming off of this. That'll sit right on it. Now we're free of everything. That is so sick! Okay, I'm gonna need to lengthen this wire here still. Come up around the back side. It'll then connect into this. And a 2-wire is a 2-wire. I'm gonna check and make sure that it gets continuity, doesn't get continuity on them. I'll show you guys how to do that on a later episode when we're buttoning up wiring. Until then, that's the booster. So guys, I'm gonna end this one right here. You saw the booster get put in. It is hard mounted to the vehicle. On the next video, we're gonna have Brody here and we're gonna be hitting this thing real hard. Decided not to do the hoops in the front. Instead, we're gonna do the plate steel. I want it to match what I got going on in there. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Thanks for watching Penguin's Garage.
You heard the girl.